I already laid in the upper thrust bearing last night because I just couldn't resist. Everything has come out right. These 10 underbearings should fit properly, but we're going to check. Trust but verify. Remember who said that?
No.
Ronald Reagan. Talking about our
I
good.
don't know if you can all hear the rain, but it's been raining all
It's been a rainy day in rural Kansas.
all day.
That little niche.
I think we're gonna have to build an ark. Stitch, we're gonna have to build an arch.
All right.
An ark, I mean, an arch.
There's the mains all laid into place. Now I'm going to have to remove the flywheel. Lay the crank in.
Hello, Stitch. Oh, Stitch.
And don't anybody worry, because I'm just plastic gauging right now. When I put it in and put the caps on for good, it'll all be lubed up. But you basically want to plastic gauge it dry so you don't have oil taking up space. It's got a little bit of surface lube on it. Electrician call you back?
No, I'm sure he'll text me back.
You need to get gravel. All right, we're going to very gently, carefully, put the crankshaft in place. And then, press the gauge. Come on. A little piece. Oh, my pocket knife went. A little piece on each main journal.
Might be hard to see.
Might be. It's hard for me to see, and I'm doing it. There's all 5 of them. Now, roll the straw over here. Okay, and spun around. One. Roll up. Lower halves, which are upside down right now. So these are the upper halves and these are the lower halves because the motor would be turned over. The lower halves are solid. The upper halves have oil feed holes. Number one, the arrow goes forward. Number two, the arrow goes forward. And number three, since this is a forward, is the thrust bearing. Monitors the back and forth movement. The divot with the notch. Arrow goes forward. Tighten the mains down. You don't want to turn the crank.
So what you're doing is seeing if they're in specs?
Yep. See how far it smashes that plastic gauge. Make sure the bearings we got are proper. The old bearings, plastic gauged, they were close to the end tolerance, but you know, they were worn bearings. And plus, when you're building a hot rod motor, a machine shop will usually run clearances a little looser anyway for performance. The trick is to try to get the caps off without further squishing the plastic gauge.
How do you, I don't see how you measure that.
Alright, well, I'll show you. A lot of that was stayed with the bearings. I mean, I measured on the bearing.
That one came off completely.
I'll measure them on the bearing now. Doesn't matter.
Oh, this is the width of it?
It's, yeah, it starts out round. And it's how far it smashes it wide.
Gotcha.
Is a calculation of how much clearance there is. This one's a thrust bearing, so it's a little tighter and tricky to get out. We'll get these ones real quick. piston rings and crankshaft. Alright. Main bearing clearance on a 65-289. Can't see, sweetie. .0006 to .0024.
Okay, let me do that for a second.
Is right the same width as that. And that's perfect. Perfect. We're close enough to perfect. After this, we can pull the crank back out, put the rear main seal in, lube everything up, and torque the crank down to specs. A lot of guys don't clean off their plastic gauge. I usually do. It's just wax, but I like to clean it off.
This is Carolyn Wilson. I am Mark's mother, and
How old are you?
I am 90 years old. And one of these days, I'm going to be old. We pretty well knew from Mark's early days that he was going to wind up being a mechanic because he did love anything that had to do with cars, especially with wheels. One thing that I saw so often, and I knew this had to be indicating something about what his interest would be, was that he had a little red wagon, and he would lay next to that on the floor, have the wagon upside down with the wheels up, and he would lie beside it quite close with his face close to one of the tires, and then he would just spin the tire. He'd have his finger out and he'd spin it and he'd watch it go around, and when it slowed down he'd start it up again. And there was no explanation. He just loved doing it, and he did it a great deal.